Morgan, where are you right now?
What? I just finished parking the car out in the driveway of your house. I was told that I could park my car out here before by Jackson, so that's what I've done.
I see. I was wondering why there was a car out in my driveway which I'd never seen before. So, you drive a little blue sedan? What the heck is that thing? Is that really your car?
Yes, it is. That would be my car.
I see. I really hope you're joking with me right now, Morgan. I would never expect someone like you to be driving in such an old and cheap-looking car such as that. It's like the car is saying that its driver is a poor person with the vibe it's giving off.
What? I actually really happen to like that car, and that's the whole reason I drive it all the time. It's a little bit smaller than most modern sedans, so it's easier for me to park, and it can park in more places than most other cars. I like to think that a lot of people drive cars like that one.
I don't want to hear your excuses. I thought that someone else had pulled up in our driveway like a thief.
What?
Listen to me, Morgan. I heard that you are currently working for a very good company. But what about your parents? What are the both of them doing right now for work?
My father is self-employed and my mother works alongside him.
Oh no, I knew it. It's your parents who are both the poor people in your family. And now you're trying to get into my family in order to get my husband's money, right? I wasn't wrong. You are a thief that's trying to steal from my family.
Hold on for just a second there, Matilda. I think you've jumped the gun way too early here by calling me a poor person just like that. The only reason that I'm here at your guys' house today is to talk with you guys and your husband about Jackson and I getting married. So would you please wait for me to come inside and then we can all sit back and talk?
I have nothing left to talk with you about. To go home. Go home, go home, go home. Get the hell off my property and go home.
How about you calm down, please? I'm coming up to your front porch right now.
No! You're going to try to hurt me now. This is a family of doctors, and we will not be allowing a rotten little child like you to come and take our money. Now that you have that pocket change, you leave my son alone and go away.
Now I'm really in shock. I never thought that someone older than myself would be chucking their change at me. Now I understand how things like water fountains feel when they have to have coins thrown at them all day.
I'm not playing around here.
Honestly, I am fed up with you now, Matilda.
I knew something was up the moment my son told me he was with a 35-year-old woman. Jackson is only 27 years old, and he's a doctor of all things. He does not need some old hag like yourself marrying him when he has the ability to get much younger and far wealthier women.
Did you just call me an old hag? Have you ever taken a look in the mirror before? Because once you have, you can have some room to talk.
Shut your filthy mouth! I need to protect my cute little Jackson from things like you. Which means you need to get out of here right now. This is my family of doctors, and I will not let any beggars get anywhere close to us.
Is that so? Then I suppose I won't marry him anymore. I'm going home.
That's what I wanted to hear. Did you think I would ever let your dirty hands come and defile my family of esteemed doctors? Don't you ever come around my family again, you poor person. I never want to see your face for the rest of my life.
So, what do you plan on doing now, Jackson?
I'm so very sorry, Morgan. I have tried so many times now to get my mom to shut up and let you come in. But she's not listening to me one bit. I thought that at least a few days after the first time I had talked to her, she would have calmed down a little. All she keeps saying is how she has to protect me and protect our money.
By the way, your mom has quite an arm on her. That pocket change that she whipped at me was so fast that it cut up my chest and left some bruising. I could take this to the police if I wanted to and say that she assaulted me.
I am so sorry. I'm sure you didn't want anything like this happening today. I don't know what else I can say besides I'm sorry. I don't understand how this happened with my mom when weeks ago, when I was first talking to her about you, she seemed so happy. Hey, you were lying about not getting married to me, right? There's no way you can leave me just because of what my mom did to you, right?
But here's the thing, Jackson. After getting married, you and I will have to meet one another's parents quite often, and that especially means I'll have to see your mom. If she continues to do things like she's done to me today, I'm not going to be able to control myself anymore, and I'll have to call the police on her. That's why for the time being, I'll no longer call you my fiancé. I'm only doing this for a little while, in the hopes that your mom will actually calm down.
Are you sure about that? Can I believe what you're saying?
Yes, you can. But listen, Jackson, I've heard from you plenty of times before now about how your mom is a total jackass and has been causing you trouble for years. And then something like today happened to me. So until something is done about her, whether that's you cutting ties to her or her learning to cope with me, I'm not going to marry you. Understand?
I will make sure something is done about her. I love you so much, Morgan. And that means I will not let you leave me because of my mom. I'm going to go and have another talk with her in a little bit. Could you please give me a little bit of time?
All right.
Excuse me, Morgan.
What do you want, Matilda?
Don't you dare call me by my name ever again!
Then what should I be calling you instead? Would you like me to call you my ex-mother-in-law or something?
Shut your mouth right now! You're going to make me vomit all over my room.
Then I'm going to continue to call you Matilda. So what's going on with you?
That's right. Because of you, my son came and yelled at me for what happened. I have never in my whole entire life been yelled at by someone like Jackson. If he ends up with a worthless lowlife like you, then his family and everything will be defiled. I have to get him away from you at all costs.
Huh? Let me ask you, do you have any idea why he's upset with you in the first place?
I know why, my poor baby Jackson. He's been deceived by the devil who's working through you right now to try and invade the family.
Ah, okay. So you have no idea what's going on between you two then? I really do not care at all for your family money, so would you please tell me what makes you think that I do?
Even a dang monkey would know why. Because you are nothing more than an office worker. I know that all women turn into office ladies when they want to find themselves a man to bag up.
I have no idea what me working in an office has to do with Jackson.
And your father is a self-employed loser. In other words, that makes your whole family nothing more than a bunch of poor people. There is no way people like you would ever understand what it's like to be rich, but that's why you're trying to find an easy way to someone else's money. And then there's your mother who does nothing but sit around all day and has to take care of your stupid father. That's why I know you're after my family's money. I'm right on the mark with that, aren't I?
You really are a delusional old woman, aren't you? Do you think it's time you go live in an old folks' home or something like that, where you can live out your delusions in peace? I'm sure that the nurses there would love to hear all your stories about how the devil is coming for your money and whatnot. At least I can understand now why you act like such a child. And I can also see that no matter what I say, or anyone else says for that matter, you're not going to listen.
You think I'd ever listen to a trickster like you?
Of course you'd never, and that's because you have no idea what's going on anymore. And that also means you have no idea what and who are good and evil. You probably don't even know about how my father is a private clinician, and about how my mom works with him as his assistant.
Huh? So now the devil has started to speak in tongues through you or something.
You say you're from a family of doctors, yet you can't understand my English? Well, I'll just have you know that the clinic your son is working for right now is the clinic that my father owns.
What?
My father is the one who hired your son to work for him as a researcher within his clinic. You never heard a single thing about that from Jackson?
I may or may not have heard something related to all of that.
You say that you know everything about your son and are there to protect him from all that's evil, yet you don't even know the place he works at?
You're lying. You're trying to deceive me too now. All of that is lies made up by the devil to help you take our money. If your father was really the owner of the clinic my son is working in, then why did you tell me before that he's self-employed?
Well, it's just that before your son was telling me how much pride you have in your family. So, in an attempt to not totally destroy your heart, I just told you that my father is self-employed. Which is not wrong, by the way. But now that I've learned just how toxic of an old woman you really are, I'm kind of glad I never told you the details.
Shut your mouth! I'm not going to believe another word that comes out of your mouth.
Then perhaps you can look this up yourself?
I will. I will look up the place that Jackson's working at right now. And then when I see that you have indeed been lying to me, you'll be forced to regret letting the devil use your tongue.
Sure. Now go and have a look.
Morgan, why are you not answering me?
Because I've been working and had no time to answer to a delusional woman. Wow, you went and called me 300 times now? Do you have nothing better to do with your time?
Now is not the time to talk about me calling you. For some reason, it seems I had a small little misunderstanding. Now that I've had a good look, it does seem that the clinic my son has been working for is the same clinic your father owns. Jackson even said that to me, so I know now that you were telling the truth. So because that's the case, you are perfect for my family. I'll allow you to marry my son now. Make sure to have a massive wedding and everything so that those around us know we are an affluent family. Also, please make sure that you guys have a child as soon as you start making love. And of course, the first child has to be a boy. When are you guys planning to have your first house built? I'll be coming over there quite a lot to spend time with you guys, so make sure there's a guest room that's set up specifically for me.
Wait. What kind of tangent are you starting to go on this time? I think you've completely lost it now that you've changed course by 180 degrees, and I would be more than happy to refer you to seeing my father for help.
I'm talking about all of this stuff now because you will become a part of my family.
But weren't you saying before that I wasn't fit to be a part of your family, even though Jackson and I thought it was just fine?
I know that. Hence why I'm taking back my word and letting you marry my son now. Come to my house right now. I will be more than happy to welcome you inside this time.
That's not going to happen.
What?
Based off the way you've been judging me before, that would mean your son and the rest of you would not be fit for my family. Right?
What are you going on about right now, Morgan?
Based off what I know about so far, your family may all be doctors, but not a single one of you owns a clinic or hospital, correct? And actually, there is really only one doctor in your family, and that's Jackson. And he's not even considered a proper doctor yet because he's only doing research for my father right now.
But he still has the license to be a doctor, which means he is a doctor at heart, right?
And what about your husband? From what I've heard, all he is a nurse. Right? My grandpa was the owner of a hospital back when he was still around, and your husband used to work under him as a nurse there. Isn't that right?
What? Then that means you're the granddaughter of a hospital owner.
See, you didn't even know about that very obvious fact.
But my husband has been working in a hospital all his life, so he's just like a doctor, right?
No, he's not. Nurses and doctors are completely different from one another, and I do not like the fact that you are getting them confused. Jackson's little brother also does not happen to be a doctor, and all you are is a housewife, right?
And so what? All of that nitpicking from you is starting to get on my nerves. Then what about you, Morgan? All you are is a basic office lady, right?
That's right. But I happen to have a doctor's license, and before I started my own business, I was a doctor.
Huh?
Right now, I'm running a business that works in the sales of medical equipment to all sorts of hospitals and clinics all across the state.
Your business sells medical equipment?
I talk with my mom a lot about things like medical equipment, such as what's new in the medical world and what my father's clinic would like to use next. Originally, I didn't really care too much for owning my own business, but when I started to think about how much I loved helping other clinics and hospitals, I decided I'd do so by offering them the best equipment around.
Then that would mean your family.
That's correct. We all happen to have doctor's licenses, and we've all worked as doctors or are working as doctors, and that makes my family a family of doctors.
So, you guys are the real deal?
The real deal? Do you understand things a little bit more clearly now?
Of course I do. I can see now that the woman my son wants to marry has nothing wrong with her and is not lacking in any way. We need to hurry up and get your guys' wedding together. You were just joking about leaving my son behind, weren't you? That was just a joke you told because you're just that funny of a woman. Well, now I can see just how serious you are about my son and that you need to become his wife. I'm so happy to become your mother-in-law. I finally see everything clearly now.
No, you don't. From what you just said, you don't understand a damn thing.
Hold on, what are you talking about?
The thing is, I could never understand you very well, Matilda. I could never understand why you would hurl little pieces of metal in the form of change at someone, causing them to get cut up. And I could never understand why you thought you still had to take care of your 28-year-old son, like he's a baby still or something. And I could never understand what you were going on about when you said I was the devil and wanted all your money. I really have no idea what you are, Matilda, and that's why I plan to forget about you entirely.
Are you still upset with me? We're going to become family from now on, so just forget about all of that. I'm letting you join my family now as my son's wife, so you can stop nitpicking and whining.
Oh? You never heard the news?
What?
Jackson's going to be taking my family's name.
Oh, you hold your horses. I sure did not hear about that. Then what's going to happen to my family and the son we raised to take it over? The only child we'll have left is that shut-in brat who doesn't even work.
I don't care about your family matters. How about you let your boys live their lives the way they want to and worry about your future instead? I know for a fact that all you've done is bitch at them over and over again about how you want them to live.
You hold it right there, Morgan. Look! Jackson! Jackson! You reply to me right now! Hey, are you really going to try ignoring your own mother now? You would never do something so heartless to the woman who birthed you, right? You have always been a really good boy to your mommy.
Mom, shut the hell up already.
Jeez, you were 32 seconds later than the last time with your reply to me.
I have told you before to respond to me within 10 seconds of my texts or calls to you, right?
I'm out of the house right now, so don't expect me to be looking at my phone all the time. And Mom, you have always been the one to think that you come before anyone or anything else, right?
Well, of course. I am your mother, and I am one of the most important people in the world.
Well, the most important person to me is Morgan.
Why would you say something like that? I'm your mommy, right? I was the one who made you and gave birth to you. You're my little baby boy, and to you I should always be the most special.
I already had a talk with Dad about you. He's told me about how being married to you has completely numbed him because of all the embarrassment you've brought upon him. But after what you did to Morgan recently, he can no longer handle you.
Why are you mad at your mommy? What happened to you, Jackson?
Stop calling yourself my damn mommy. Jesus Christ, are you daft or something? I'm 28 years old now and don't want to be around some complete nut job anymore. Mom, I really do appreciate you for raising me and everything. But I'm not a 4-year-old anymore, and the life I want to live now has nothing to do with you anymore. I'm leaving that house and your family.
What? What do you mean by that?
I'm taking Morgan's family name in the marriage, so that I never have to be associated with someone as embarrassing as you. I'll make sure you pay Dad back all the money he gave to send me to school over time. But besides that, I don't want anything to do with you guys. So leave me the hell alone now, please.
Why, Jackson? Are you really that upset with me? Oh, my baby boy, was the way I'd been talking to you too harsh? The only reason I was being so strict with you about Morgan was to protect you from the devil. I really mean that, okay? Oh, please trust me.
Shut your goddamn mouth already! Oh my god! Like hell you've ever done anything to protect me. Not once had you ever listened to a word I said to you. That's why I no longer want to be a part of your life. I always wanted to become a dang veterinarian, but you stomped those dreams I had into smithereens. You said that veterinarians were all failures who never accomplished the goal of becoming doctors. I am not your puppet. I am not your doll. I am nothing to you now.
Would you please not talk to your own mommy like that? Oh, this is all because of that woman. That woman, with the help of the devil, turned you into this.
That's right. With her help, I was able to open my eyes and realize just how horrible of a person you are. I respect her a lot for staying with me through all of this. And not for just that reason, though, but also because she became a doctor, and then a business owner.
I know that, but...
The only reason I ever lived with what you told me to do is because that was the only way I could find some sort of peace in that house. Luckily, I was able to graduate from high school at the top of my class and get into a really good medical school where I had a lot of scholarships. But I'm no longer at peace anymore with this path you've laid out for me either, so things must change. And that's why today is the final day of calling myself your son.
You can't! You're going to betray your own flesh and blood now? Do you have any idea how much I've had to sacrifice for you?
And you should know that all those sacrifices you made were for nothing, because it turned my little brother into a damn NEET.
What?
He had dreams of his own as well. He wanted to become an aerospace engineer, Mom. But you never listened to him talk about his dreams and told him he had to become a doctor or else he'd rot in hell. You forced him to study what you wanted him to study, and you chose all the friends he could have. And you never let him leave the house besides to go to school and go to cram school afterwards. Because of all of that, he became depressed, and the only thing that he could find joy in was video games. He can't even leave the house now because you never let him develop any social skills.
Is that right? I like to think it's all his fault he ended up completely useless. He never used his brain the same way you did, and he would never listen to me. And when he got into high school, he could never get his grades above a C, and then he never even went to a university afterwards. Oh, that useless shut-in should be praising me for even allowing him to still live at this house.
He is not a shut-in. Right now, he works as a remote engineer.
What?
He gives Dad about $2,000 in cash each month, right? He knows that if he gives you any money, you would just go out and burn it all on brand clothing. That's why he never hands you a dime.
I didn't know that.
That's because you never cared about him or I. The only thing you wanted was for us to become something you could both brag about and get money from.
Oh, that's not true at all.
Dad's going to hand in your guys' divorce papers soon.
What? What do you mean?
He doesn't love you anymore. Also, I'll be cutting you out of my life. And my brother will be doing the same exact thing after he moves.
Wait, I'm nothing but a housewife. If your brother and Dad both leave me, then I won't have any money in order to support myself.
Then get to work, asshole. You're in your 60s now, and have not once worked a job in your life, right?
Being a housewife is a job. So don't make it sound like I'm just some freeloader.
I suppose having to cook and clean every day is tough, but you're not making any money off of it, are you?
I know that, but... So this is how you and everyone else are going to abandon me? I gave you all the most loving any human could ever give you. I have loved you ever since you were born. Please do not abandon your own mother like this. Can't you please take me with you?
Hell no. Stay the hell away from me, you monster.
What?
I told you already. The person I love most is Morgan. But the person I forgot to mention that I hate the most is you. You not only made fun of her and hurt her feelings, but then went and physically assaulted her.
I was just in the heat of the moment then.
Shut up already, Mom. You really think an excuse like that would work in your favor with the police?
Wait a second. Wait. Listen to me, Jackson.
I'm done here. You have nothing else to say to me beside lies and excuses. So I'm not listening to you anymore, like you've always done to everyone else. Bye.
I don't want you to go.
Who frickin' cares? You better start praying to God that Morgan doesn't take things further with you. She already told me she won't get the police involved yet, but she could call them at any moment and have you arrested.
Wait, Jackson!
Thank you so much for doing the one thing that all mothers can do for their child, and that's giving birth to me. But beside that, all you've done is hurt me. So I don't want to ever see you again. Morgan, I'll be coming home tonight.
Understood. We finally moved out into our own house together, and being alone for so many days in a row has left me feeling a bit lonely.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't think that family meeting we had would take that long. But from now on, I'll always be at home with you. My dad and brother were also able to escape that monster.
Thank goodness. I was a bit worried at first that your mom would never let go of those two and would fight them until the day she died.
Well, my dad wasn't going to have it anymore, so there will be no problems. My little brother was also really happy to hear that my dad is divorcing her. He also mentioned that if you ever plan on expanding your business into making your own medical equipment, to give him a call and he'd love to work for you as an engineer.
If I can make something happen, I'll give him that call. Now that I think about him, not too long ago he had helped with that project to develop a new engine part for airliners, right?
That's right. But he was only one of many engineers that worked on that project.
But that means he has experience doing things with precision. I really might have to hire him.
Morgan, thank you so much.
What's this all about now? I love you a lot, Jackson, so you don't have to thank me for anything. In the end, Matilda had to listen to her husband ask for a divorce and give her all the reasons as to why he wanted one. For a very long time, he had been tired of all of her hysteric episodes she'd have, but never did anything about it because he'd tried tuning them all out. He would normally do that by just distancing himself from her by working longer shifts and staying out of the house. But this time, he just could not bear the thought of her anymore. Although I really wish he divorced and left her a whole lot sooner. Jackson's little brother also used this divorce as a way to finally run away from his mom and move into a new place. So after all that, Matilda not only lost her husband, but both of her sons as well, and is now completely alone. After the divorce, she went back to her parents, who were now both in their 90s, and had the both of them take care of her even though her father is struggling with severe dementia. The only issue that came about from that move, though, was that Matilda's little sister was already living with her parents in order to take care of them, and would not have Matilda sitting around all day doing nothing. So, within a day, Matilda was forced by her little sister to start helping out with her parents in the chores, which only drove Matilda more insane. And if that wasn't enough for her, Matilda's little sister is only giving her a month to find a job, or else she's kicking her out of the house for good. So, let's hope for the sake of Matilda that she can find some kind of work and not wind up homeless. And if she does, let's just pray the devil doesn't get to her and send her heading right back towards us begging for our money.